learning system. Now, starting off with the web-based training technologies. The range of web-accessible technologies and services which are useful to learning are classified today broadly into 3 categories. These are infrastructure, which is specifically purposed to support learning, education, and training, where the systems are brought together specifically for a certain purpose of education delivery. Secondly, we look at infrastructure that is not specifically purposed to support learning but has been enabled to do that in addition to the other functions that it supports. This could be in many organizations where the documents that are existing, the trainings that are existing are actually put on an intranet so that all the employees can access it and do some self-training courses. Then there are the more widely deployed infrastructure that may be useful for learning, education, and training. This could be internet-based, it could be something like intermittent webinars, or it could be intermittent training sessions involving internet and other such tools. But this is not a dedicated platform. So we are going from the localized and the particular specific e-learning platforms to the global or the generalized platforms. There are other models that exist today all over the world. These are called the generalized functional models. Some of them are defined by SCORM. For example, any LMS that you pick up nowadays on the off the shelf are usually SCORM compliant. The one feature that they keep highlighting is that we are SCORM compliant. Why? Because SCORM is one feature which is now globally accepted. Then there is the functional model, which is defined by Sun Microsystems, that is applicable to all the Java specific systems. They have also come up with interoperable standards and a lot of other good work which has been done by Sun Microsystems. However, it is not followed by all other platforms that do not use Java-based systems. Then there is agent-based online learning systems that integrate software agents and learning object technologies. For example, they take existing applications off the shelf, they integrate it with their own learning objects or LMS, and then they create an educational delivery system. These are the existing models just now in the global scenario. What we need to do is actually bring these together and form a collaborative model amongst these. We cannot ask all the universities to change their systems overnight just so that they become collaborative. So what we need to bring about are certain standards which are applicable to all kinds of varied systems which are existing in world today. Sun Microsystems has done quite a bit of work in this. It has come up with a white paper on standards for interoperable systems. Okay, and these have been recommended to use Corba as a supporting infrastructure. This is one example of a COM collaborative model. If you see, there is a client which accesses the server through internet, and it's not necessarily a secure channel. It could use HTTP, it could use FTP, it could use TCP/IP, it could use anything that is suitable to it. So whenever a developer or a learner comes and gives a request, it is processed through intranet, and then it is taken from the server and then delivered to the learner. There are certain issues with the e-learning platforms. For example, there is a failure of interoperability. These are not scalable, and they are neither secure or they have administrative issues, which means when there is a great body of students who wants to actually access the learning objects through the internet, it becomes a bottleneck for everybody to access at the same time. So these systems are not equipped to handle great masses. They are not equipped to be extremely secure. They are also not equipped to deliver online content in the same category as classroom teaching. Even till date, students prefer to go to a classroom and learn from a teacher whom they can see, whom they can talk to, rather than access these e-learning systems. So now what we are trying to do is overcome that limitation. The proposed model that we are going to discuss, it divides learning system into LCMS and LMS. LCMS is Learning Content Management System, and LMS, as you all know, is the Learning Management System. Now, this model also divides the functional roles of each component. It covers all types of e-learning functional components and not just SCORM compliant models only. It also defines the permissible set of learning objects exchanged between each component. When we say we define the permissible set of learning objects, we limit actually the kinds of learning objects or teaching materials, otherwise it is called, to a certain standardized ones. For example, you cannot have all kinds of documents which are being given to the students as learning objects or reading materials. They have to actually comply certain standards. So, for example, if you have a document in LaTeX or doc or RTF or some other such document format, you cannot really share it. We restrict it to be shared with other users for security, administrative, as well as collaborative reasons. Nowadays, the document formats that are more popularly being shared collaboratively are the EPUB formats, the PDF formats. Amazon, of course, has brought its own Kindle format. Microsoft similarly has its own MOCs. These are all existing in their own worlds, but you cannot really run an EPUB on Kindle or an MOC on any other reader. You need specific readers to access this digitalized content. This again limits everything. So in this proposed model, we try to collaborate, bring a collaborative effort of standardizing these 4 or 5 kinds of documents, limit them to these 4 or 5 kinds so that there won't be more such kinds of digitalized documents cropping up, which will just form a list of documents which again require specific readers on which we need to read them. A generalized managed learning architecture would look like this. We have a virtual learning environment, which is here. Then there would be a portal through which the student or the learner would be accessing all these learning objects. If required, there would be a learning management system, and the student records or MIS and such administrative part of the learning architecture. So whoever is enrolling into this e-learning architecture comes through a portal, accesses either the student records or the administrative services, the library management system where he can read or access archived material, digitalized material, and the virtual learning environment where probably the lectures are delivered through virtual webinars or chat sessions or even Skype or other mode. If we break this up into different portions,